Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
New this morning, we are working to get some more information about a couple of incidents here. A house that caught on fire in Raleigh, and a woman was taken to the hospital after a motorcycle crash. What we were able to learn from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
This morning, everything you need to know ahead of Memorial Day weekend travel.
We have team coverage for you, monitoring road conditions, prices at the pump, what you need to know if you plan to fly to your destination, and, of course, that weekend weather forecast.
We're starting off crisp and cool this morning. Look at that. Refreshing down at 44. The dew point, of course, is a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. And we're going to talk more, of course, about our cool start as we take a look at Southern Pines. Looking beautiful here. And you can see just how gorgeous that is. I feel like we're going to see a lot of people heading out, of course, to the golf course.
And an accused intruder arrested. A Raleigh woman says she woke up to a naked man in her apartment. The charges he's facing, including attempted rape. A lot to get to here on this Friday morning. We thank you for joining us at 6 o'clock as you get a jump start on the holiday weekend. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making us a part of your routine here. I know everybody's shuffling towards the weekend here, and it's a nice start to do that. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRL Severe Weather Center, not even hitting 60 yet.
No, look at that, 59. We just dropped to 59 degrees, so feeling great out there. Lots of 50s, dew point way, way over there on the dry side of the muggy meter. And a beautiful sunrise everywhere, just a few clouds out there. I imagine the golf courses and all the outdoor venues will be very busy over the weekend. 52 in Roxborough right now, 52 in Rocky Mount, 53 in Southern Pines. As a matter of fact, all of the towns showing up on this map are showing temperatures in the 50s. So we're running anywhere from 5 to almost 10 degrees cooler in some places compared to where we were this time yesterday. Beautiful day, 71 at lunchtime. We'll see a high of 75 this afternoon. Now, of course, if you've been watching, if you have outdoor plans over the weekend, you know, we've been talking about that chance for rain Sunday night into Monday, but the models have backed off on some of that rain from Monday. I'll walk you through the updated forecast coming up. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at the traffic map, it is a lot of green out there, but there is one trouble spot we're keeping our eyes on. That's going to be down here outside of Cary on Walnut Street, right near that US 1 interchange. You're not seeing any delays pop up there, but you take a look at this live picture being provided by photojournalist Charles Bradley. You can see we have got police. We have got a multi-vehicle crash there. Some damage visible on that red Dodge right there. And that black SUV over there, that was on its side just moments ago before being flipped over. We're still working to learn exactly what happened here, how serious this crash was, if there are any injuries. But if you are trying to get onto US 1 from Walnut Street there in Cary, you're going to have to navigate around this. Want to take your time, be patient for those first responders still working that scene.
Eric, thank you. New overnight from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Around 1:30 this morning, a 19-year-old woman was injured in a motorcycle crash in Raleigh. This happened on Carpenter Fire Station Road. She was taken to the hospital. Troopers say she was the only one involved in the crash, and that speed was a factor.
Also overnight, a fire broke out about 12:30 this morning, causing extensive damage to this Raleigh home. WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there at the scene, a winding trail off Lynn Road. Crews worked to put the fire out. One person was able to get out of that home safely. Investigators are working to determine the cause.
It's the unofficial start to the summer travel season. Of course, we're talking about this Memorial Day weekend, and Americans are on track to break travel records, thanks in part to a break in gas prices. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live on Gorman Street with a look at what the prices are in Raleigh. And Kelsey, some good news for travelers.
Yes, Renee, definitely some good news. We're seeing the lowest Memorial Day weekend gas prices since 2021, according to Gas Buddy. So we'll give you a live look now at prices here on Gorman Street. You can see $2.99 a gallon there at the Exxon, and it's the same price across the street here at the BP. This morning, gas prices in North Carolina are below the national average. New numbers released from AAA in the last 2 hours show the average price of gas today in our state is $2.88 a gallon. It was $3.36 this same time last year. Gas prices were at the highest in June 2022, averaging $4.66 a gallon. Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy explains how the 90-day pause on tariffs impacts prices at the pump.
With those tariffs paused, oil prices have gone up a little bit, but still remain relatively low. And a lot of that is because the continued uncertainty whether or not tariffs will be moving forward towards the end of the summer.
If you want to find out about the cheapest gas prices here in the Triangle, head to our website, WRAL.com, and search Fuel Tracker. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And as people hit the roads this weekend, thousands are expected to also travel in the air. And this is the first major holiday travel weekend since real ID requirements were put in place for air travel. WRAL's Ali Kadlubar is at RDU this morning, where those lines have been building since 4:30 when you got out there.
Yes, good morning. As you can see, it's definitely packed here this morning. We've seen that line kind of ebb and flow. It's definitely grown and wrapped around the building just moments ago. I've heard multiple people actually come in and say that they've never seen it like this before. Now, we know this is the first weekend that real ID requirement, this is the first busy travel weekend that real ID requirement took effect. Now, RDU tells us during the first 2 weeks of this new requirement, a little more than half of passengers have used a real ID. About 33% of travelers used their passport, and 13% provided another form of acceptable ID. We spoke with Tabitha Klein, a traveler, and her family who are traveling this weekend. We spoke to her about an hour ago when the line was shorter. She says she's surprised to see how well it was flowing today.
It's not very bad. It seems like everybody's got it together, so fingers crossed that makes it all the way to the gate.
Now, we can see it ebbs and flows, I'm telling you guys. So we can see that it's getting a little bit shorter, a relief for many people who may be showing up a little bit later than what they should. Remember, get here a few hours early, especially for this busy travel weekend. Make sure you have a real ID or other acceptable form of ID. Reporting at RDU, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
It is a rush right now at RDU. A man is accused of breaking into a woman's apartment while she was sleeping and attempting to sexually assault her. Avante Cooper made his first court appearance yesterday. This happened last Friday at an apartment community in Raleigh on Town Drive. The woman told police she woke up to find a naked stranger in her room. Nearly a week later, Cooper was arrested for exposing himself at 2 other apartment buildings in Raleigh. While questioning Cooper, officers connected him to the attempted rape. Cooper faces several charges.
We're getting new details about a 9-hour standoff in Chatham County that ended with a deputy shooting a man. Sky 5 was over that scene on Lambert Chapel Road. It was in Bear Creek. And we first brought you this story as breaking news in our 6 a.m. newscast yesterday. Deputies say Paul Rader fired at them as they tried to serve an involuntary commitment order. It led to a 9-hour standoff and shootout. It ended when a deputy shot Rader. The Chatham County Sheriff's Office says he'll be arrested when he's released from the hospital. He faces charges including attempted murder. No deputies were hurt.
Dozens of people came together to hold a vigil for the young couple gunned down outside D.C.'s Jewish Museum. Attendees lit candles in the park across from the White House. The emotional gathering remembers Sarah Milgram and her partner, Yaron Lashinsky. Both were diplomatic staffers at the Israeli Assembly. The case is being investigated as a possible hate crime and terror attack. This morning, we know the suspected shooter, Elias Rodriguez, has been charged with murder. He made a brief court appearance yesterday. Surveillance video shows the suspect fired the victim several times. Rodriguez will have a preliminary hearing on June 18th in D.C. federal court. The Justice Department says anti-Semitism will not be tolerated.
There's a reward for information leading to an arrest in a Fayetteville murder investigation. It's up to $10,000 now. Police are looking for the person who killed 18-year-old A.J. Whidbey. He was shot to death on September 21st of last year on Edge Hill Road. When police got there, they found Whidbey and another man had been shot. The other man survived.
A state trooper is facing multiple charges on crimes related to domestic violence. According to arrest warrants, Mark Melvin used force against his girlfriend in April. The Highway Patrol is investigating. Melvin is on administrative leave, and we've learned he was previously placed on leave in 2021 after calling the Black Lives Matter movement a racist money laundering hate group in a Facebook post. Melvin started with Highway Patrol in 2007. He was assigned to Person County in 2013. He posted bond and will be in court next month.
0-2 and headed on the road. The Carolina Hurricanes are facing an extremely important Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final, down 2-0 in the series after getting shut out last night by the Florida Panthers at the Lenovo Center. The Panthers scored 3 times in the first period and went on to win 5-0. Canes fans left the Lenovo Center, some early, most disappointed with their team's performance.
Given how we played the first game, I thought we would have come out with a lot more energy, a better strategy, and leaving the game where we're at 5-0, we could have done a lot better.
Well, Canes will look to rebound there for Game 3 tomorrow night, 8 o'clock in Florida. After the game, we'll have exclusive insight and expert analysis on Canes post-game exclusive live tomorrow night, 11:15 on WRAL.
Sneaky stowaway. A jury convicts a woman of bypassing security on a flight from New York to Paris. What she said on the stand that might have impacted the verdict.
Plus, food truck festival where elastic waistbands are a strong suggestion. You might get a taste of soul this weekend if you head to this or our other out and about best bets just ahead.
And I bet some of you are going to be hitting the road this evening, and it's guaranteed that, of course, the traffic is not going to be great, but at least the weather looks okay. For travel this evening, temperatures will be in the 70s, and we'll see dry conditions. Now, Monday's been a question. I'll show you why it looks like it could be trending drier coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, and you don't want to miss this. Look at this absolutely spectacular sunrise just happening here at Carolina Beach. So beautiful. I mean, all across our area, we're seeing pretty sunrises as well. But yeah, there's something about that Carolina Beach sunrise, right? So rip current danger over the weekend. Just be careful. Right now, we have a moderate rip current danger from about Topsail Island all the way up to Nags Head. So if you're out and about and headed to the beach over the weekend, just keep that in mind. Always check that rip current danger. It's not going to be terribly warm at the beach, at least for, walking around in a bathing suit. Temperatures will be mostly in the mid 70s for tomorrow and then again on Sunday. Late Sunday, we may have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms, and it's starting to trend drier for Monday. We were just talking about that a little while ago. If you're headed to the mountains, it's probably going to be a little wetter. We'll have the chance for some late day showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures will be 60s and 70s for Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday looks pretty wet in the mountains. But again, we're starting to trend a little bit drier across the state for Monday. That's great for folks traveling back. And if you're sticking around here, I'll show you the hour-by-hour forecast. Eric?
Elizabeth, just in the last few minutes, we've had a crash pop up here on the traffic map. It's going to be down southeast of town on Pool Road eastbound. As we zoom in here a little bit closer, if the traffic map will cooperate for us this morning, you can see it right there eastbound near Riverview Road. The sensor's not picking up any major backups or delays at this point, but if you're headed in that way, you're going to want to keep your eyes on that spot. Give those first responders some extra room there. Otherwise, things good across the board. No major delays on those major routes coming into Raleigh this morning.
The highly anticipated Make America Healthy Again report calls today's children the sickest generation in American history. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. shared the report during a White House event. It points to 4 major causes in chronic health challenges, including ultra-processed foods, environmental toxins, lack of exercise and high stress, and overprescribing medicine. However, it offers very few concrete solutions or a plan to pay for new programs under massive budget cuts. Kennedy also backtracked on his effort to determine the cause of autism by September. He now says it might take another 6 months.
A Russian stowaway who slipped onto a Delta Airlines flight from New York to Paris faces up to 6 months in prison. A jury convicted Svetlana Dali on a stowaway charge after a brief trial. Jury selection and opening statements were held on Tuesday, and Dali took the stand Wednesday, acknowledging she did not have a boarding pass at the time, telling the court she walked onto the plane without being asked for one.
New video out of California shows crews working to put out an expansive fire there. The Midway wildfire is burning more than 260 acres right now, just northeast of San Jose. It has spread quickly. It just started yesterday afternoon. Right now, the Midway fire is about 75% contained.
This morning, 5 on Your Side has a recall to warn parents about regarding a pajama line for infants. More than 16,000 of these Holiday Lane infant infant footed pajamas from Macy's have been recalled. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the elastic around the ankles could restrict blood circulation. The PJs were sold between March of 2024 and January of this year. You can contact the company for a refund.
If there was any concern at all about the attention on UNC football coach Bill Belichick, his program, his team, Jordan Hudson, his girlfriend, it doesn't extend to the university's leadership. That was the message from this week's Board of Trustees meetings, and Chancellor Lee Roberts. He focused on the sold-out stadium and national television appearances awaiting the Tar Heels.
We wanted, when we hired Coach Belichick, to bring Carolina football to another level. We're delighted about all the attention being paid to Carolina football, and we're excited to see the season.
You can get more coverage of Bill Belichick, Hudson, the Carolina football program by visiting WRAL.com.
The Raleigh Convention Center will come alive with all things anime.
Also, you can get some soul food at Durham Central Park. It is time for a look at your out and about weekend best bets.
Tomorrow, eat from some of the best food trucks in the area at the Taste of Soul event at Durham Central Park. In addition to great eats, the event will feature a bounce house, games, and a DJ. It runs from 3 to 8 p.m. and admission is free.
Animazement is back at the Raleigh Convention Center this weekend. Animazement is an annual convention that celebrates Japanese culture and animation. Enjoy concerts, educational panels, unique artwork, plenty more to do out there. The fun got started last night and it runs through Sunday, and tickets are still available.
It's like Halloween in May.
Yeah.
And Darkness Rising will host their 8th festival in Moore Square tomorrow. The group organizes free events that put a spotlight on music and mental health in the Black community. The event will feature live music, an African dance class, and connect people with free mental health resources. This runs from 2 to 6 on Saturday evening. For even more weekend fun, go to WRAL.com, search Out and About.
Getting out and about on this holiday weekend here, you're certainly going to want to know what the weather's going to be like. And this morning, we're off to a nice, crisp start, Elizabeth.
We are. Boy, we're going to see a lot of different kinds of weather over the weekend. First of all, this morning, the sunrise is putting on a show. Look how pretty. Fayetteville looking gorgeous. So is Apex, Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant, and even there at a very busy Terminal 2 this morning. So enjoy a pretty sunrise. That's all thanks to this next weather maker, which is a high pressure system that's delivering some air from Canada. See that cold front sliding well south and east? This is all cool, dry air that's spilling in, making for an absolutely beautiful day today. And then we're going to see a front stalling over us. This is a pattern that we've been talking about really all week. We'll see a disturbance that comes through late Sunday night into very early Monday morning. But Monday in general is trending noticeably drier than it was yesterday. So always good to keep checking back. Things may change again over the next couple of days. So make sure that you're checking in with this. This is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Notice what happens as we get through the day. On Sunday, we start to see an increase in moisture, maybe mid to late afternoon with a chance for showers and thunderstorms. And then it's pretty wet overnight, but watch how quickly that low slides southward. This is Monday at 8 a.m. and we really start to clear pretty quickly. We're going to hold the potential for some rain in our official forecast, but if we continue to see things trending this dry, we may just bump this on down as well. So just a small chance early in the morning, and then the rest of the day, Monday looks nice. Now, I know a lot of the events, a lot of the ceremonies happen in the morning on Memorial Day, so again, keep checking back. Today and tomorrow, nice and dry. Sunday night looks like the wettest period of the holiday weekend, but we do have more rain in the forecast for later next week. How much? Well, easily an inch to an inch and a quarter. We're doing pretty well with rain right now. We're looking at pretty dry conditions here, or pretty normal conditions for our area in terms of the drought monitor. Not only is it going to be a little wet at times, but we're also going to see just really nice temperatures. Highs will be mostly in the mid 70s all the way into next week. Notice these really chilly mornings. Tomorrow morning in particular, we're down to 51. We're going to take a closer look at your drive time weather if you're headed out this evening. Eric?
Oh, Elizabeth, the conditions on the roads this morning are good overall, but we do have one little trouble spot we're monitoring. That is going to be down here southeast of Raleigh on Pool Road eastbound. As we zoom in here on the traffic map, you see that popping up near Riverview Road. You can see some slight delays who've started to build in both lanes here in just the last couple of minutes. Nothing that's really going to slow you down, but if you're headed this way this morning, you really want to pay attention. Otherwise, things looking good across the Raleigh area. No major delays on the major routes headed into town.
Eric, thanks. Crisis call.
This was something breaking overnight. Local 911 dispatchers reach out for help after experiencing their own emergency in their own building. How the workers kept people safe during that ordeal.
And cunning criminal. Police are searching for the person caught on camera stealing from business. And officers do not think this is the first time. The common thread investigators believe the crimes share.
And ahead on today, from spring and summer clothing to big ticket home goods and cars, navigating tariff impacts to find the best Memorial Day discounts.
And here's a look at your winning lottery numbers.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Toronto Blue Jays fans were treated to one of the strangest first pitches ever.
But this is normal. Kermit the Frog inspired college graduates. Time for a look at what's trending.
Kermit gave his commencement speech at the University of Maryland last night. He encouraged graduates to find community, take leaps together, and stay connected to their dreams.
He actually has a long history with the school. Muppets creator Jim Henson graduated from there in 1960. The campus garden has a bronze statue of Kermit and Henson.
He knows it's not easy being green or a college graduate entering the real world, right? But an inspiration.
Lovers, dreamers, you know. And what some are calling the strangest first pitch ever, I have to agree.
Whoa.
5 people dressed as giant crickets took the field at Toronto Blue Jays game last night. They hopped around, huddled up, and then the one with the best arm. Wow! Who knew a cricket had an arm like that?
Right?
Successful pitch, yeah.
The video is going viral online. The pitch is part of a collaboration with Cirque du Soleil. Okay. The acrobatic circus is touring across Canada and bringing this bug-themed event to Toronto. It's quite the promotion.
The catcher needed 5 baseballs to give to all the crickets out there.
The audience got an eyeful.
Yeah, I think those crickets are pretty brave. I mean, Blue Jays. Crickets?
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Snap them up. Yeah.
Hey, do you need a jacket heading out the door this morning? It's probably been a while, but our temperatures are in the low to mid 50s. I'll show you some more cool mornings and a little bit less rain for our holiday weekend coming up.
And price at the pump. Costs are down for anyone hitting the road this Memorial Day holiday weekend. How those gas prices today compare to years past?
Plus, new this morning, a house fire in Raleigh. The home is left with extensive damage. What we know about the person who was inside when the flames started.